Hip below the belt. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with today's idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you apply it to your business right now? Hip below the belt. In 1865, in England, the Marquis in Queensberry laid out and determined the rules for the sport of boxing. And one of the first rules and one of the main rules that was established was it was illegal or against the rules to hip below the belt during a boxing match or boxing tournament. It was unsportsmanlike, unfair. It put people at a disadvantage, and that rule still sticks true in boxing today. But the meaning of the idiom "hip below the belt" was expanded to mean any unfair context, any unfair competition would be one example of it. But any behavior that was considered unsportsmanlike or unfair to the opponent, and that was spread to mean in any context by anyone, anything unfair that was done. Talk about a broad definition, right? But hitting below the belt can apply to almost anything. And that's why I ask you today to take a little audit of your business and consider, does your business in any way, shape, or form hit below the belt? Now, I guess you could take that to really far reaches depending on how you want to define it, but I say, like anything else, define it in a way that serves your organization, serves your customers, serves your business, and makes your business a better contributor to the world than worse. But take a look at how you deal with competition. Do you deal with it in ways that are above the line or below the line? I think of the hit below the belt as above the line and below the line behavior. At least that's what we used to teach the kids and their friends once they were in the lecture chair of, it's kind of like good behavior that nobody would even question, or on the line is, kind of, the line is the division in the sand where you decide, yes, I'll automatically do this if it's above the line. No, I positively won't do it if it's below the line. And if it's on the line, it's questionable. And I say if it's on the line, don't do it. That's just my rule for my kids, and that's a rule that served me pretty well in my life. But online and offline and in our businesses, competition tends to be a huge thing. Competition for great resources, competition for great employees or team members or help, competition against people that do similar things to us. And we can compete against people in ways that build us up and make us better, or we can compete with other people in other situations in ways that tear us down and make us worse. I can't remember who said the story about there's two ways to build the tallest building in an area. You can build the tallest building in the area, or you can tear down all the other tall buildings in the area, and then your building becomes the tallest in the area. I always opt for the build my own tall building versus tear other people down or tear down other buildings. And I definitely meet X that story, but I think that you understand my point of that analogy of the buildings. So discrimination, blaming, victimhood, creating victims in any way, shape, or form. So there's so many ways that we can actually have those things and find that those things are sneaking into our business, in our individual lives, but in our organizations as well. Because it isn't just one person generally in our organizations, it's a group of people. And whenever we come together, everything we do gets magnified. So do a quick audit of your business. How do we treat competition? How do we automatically respond to competition? How do we treat all of our employees? Because I guarantee, or all the people that we work with, all of our partners, are we treating them all the same or equally? It's really hard to not have a favorite customer, right? But do we treat that favorite customer different than we treat our other customers? Do we treat our favorite employees or our favorite teammates or our favorite business partners different than we treat anybody else? And only you can decide if that's unfair or not. My dad, great man, passed away about 5 years ago now. He taught my sisters and I from the time we were very young that life isn't fair. He grew up in a very poor family in a disadvantaged area, and spent his entire life literally working his derriere off to provide a better life for my sisters and my mom and our family. And one of the lessons he learned as a child was that absolutely everything he got, he was going to have to work like crazy for. And to him, sometimes that didn't feel fair. And I suspect he learned that lesson from his father as well, that life isn't fair. And because fair is a relative term, right? What is fair? Fair isn't that everybody gets the same thing in life, right? That's a lot of people's definition of fair. Fair is, I define fair as being rewarded for the value that you provide in the world, a fair return for the value that you give out. It's an exchange of value, an exchange of energy. Anyway, the whole point of this hitting below the belt discussion today in idiom is take a look at your businesses and just ask yourself, do an internal audit, a little quick SWOT analysis of how this might be playing out in your business. Are you creating, and not just creating scarcity and lack in your business, but are you doing it unfairly? Are you making up that there's only a certain number of something, or really is it that your supply can't keep up with the demand? Are you putting false deadlines or false scarcity on things to force people to make a decision now when you know that you're going to turn around, you're going to be selling something similar in the very near future? To me, that's fake scarcity, fake lack, and it's contributing to the whole scarcity mentality, the lack, and the competition for resources and limiting resources that really aren't limited. So that's the kind of thing I mean when I say, are you hitting below the belt? And it's up to you. Maybe that's a perfectly okay tactic to you and your organization. I've tried it and used it before. It didn't feel right for me, so now I stopped doing it. Because the people that I serve, I don't want to force anyone to ever do business with me. I want them to work with me because I'm the right person for them. So that's it. Go out, make it an awesome day. Would love to know your experience with this expression, hit below the belt. And I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you apply it to your business right now? Take care.